I am as happy nowhere else, and in no other society, and all my wishes end where I hope my days will end, at Monticello. These words were spoken by Thomas Jefferson in 1787. He's probably best known as the author of the Declaration of Independence and the third U.S. President. Along with significant debt, Monticello, meaning low mountain in Italian, was inherited by Thomas Jefferson from his father. At the age of 26, Thomas Jefferson began construction of a private home atop Monticello. This home would soon become Thomas Jefferson's most treasured retreat from the hassles of politics and government. Several weeks ago, I toured Monticello, located just outside Charlottesville, Virginia. I was able to experience the charm and opulence of the home firsthand. Jefferson oriented the home overlooking Charlottesville and the UVA campus. In fact, Jefferson spent much of his retirement founding the University of Virginia. The university is very austere and is juxtaposed against the eccentricity of Monticello. This signifies Jefferson's penchant for education, knowledge, and enlightenment. Over the next few minutes, I would like to discuss briefly the history of the home, some interesting facts, and some of the current endeavors initiated by the Thomas Jefferson Foundation. As a self-taught architect, Thomas Jefferson acquired much of his knowledge through observation and reading. In fact, he was an avid reader. When the British invaded in 1812, they destroyed much of the Library of Congress. Jefferson very altruistically donated his own private library to establish a new Library of Congress. Then, during his retirement, he began repopulating his own private library, which is still on display at Monticello. Jefferson particularly was inspired by the works of Andrea Palladio and his 4 books of architecture. These books influenced the neoclassical Palladian design, which can be seen at Monticello and at the UVA campus. Jefferson was known for hosting many dinner parties at Monticello. These dinner parties were very extravagant and grand, albeit rather intimate. In fact, meals were served family style. This really allowed for very few servants, and it allowed for a very private, intimate dining experience for the guests. Anyone invited to a dinner party at Monticello could consider themselves very honored. They could expect good food, good company, and good wine, as Thomas Jefferson is quoted for saying, "Good wine is a necessity of life for me." Interestingly, Jefferson died 50 years to the day after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. After his death on July 4th, 1826, Martha Jefferson Randolph, Jefferson's only surviving daughter, inherited Monticello. Martha and her husband, overwhelmed by debt, decided to sell Monticello and many of the belongings inside the house. The house changed hands several times throughout the years, and during the Civil War was seized by the Confederacy. In 1923, the Thomas Jefferson Foundation procured the house and began restoration. Later, it was opened as a museum and is still open to the public today. A few interesting facts would be that the bricks and structural timbers used in the construction were fired and harvested on site. In fact, much of the structural timber was harvested actually on the mountaintop when it was cleared for construction. Jefferson also displayed artifacts from the Lewis and Clark expeditions, and many of them can still be seen in the house today. The house was built in several stages, and many of the additions were inspired by Jefferson's trips to Europe. Jefferson is buried on the property. In fact, the family cemetery is a short stroll down the hillside, and there's an obelisk over Jefferson's grave. The Thomas Jefferson Foundation faces one of the most pressing concerns, which is the preservation and restoration of the house. They've gone to strenuous lengths to preserve the house, the overall atmosphere, the interior climate, and they've installed sprinklers and fire protection systems. Chiefly, the home serves as a link to its distinguished history, and it provides a house for artwork, artifacts, and memorabilia. In conclusion, Monticello is arguably one of America's most treasured private homes, with a rich history. Constructed to facilitate Jefferson's lifestyle of academia and research, it still stands as a monument to Jefferson's legacy. I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. It's been a wonderful experience for me, and I've thoroughly enjoyed sharing what I've learned. If you're interested in learning more about Monticello, I encourage you to check out their website, which is www.monticello.org. Or you could check out Jefferson's Monticello, written by William Adams. Thank you.